Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, wherever you are. We have a special guest today. Her name is Rachel Santo. She's a teacher at the Kabbalah Center, where she teaches classes, giving one-on-one sessions, guiding meditations, and she specializes in angelic meditations. You can find them on Insight Timer, Kabbalah.com, and on YouTube. She enjoys bridging ancient wisdom with today's life, with a focus on the knowledge that Kabbalists provide about angels and their powers. This way, she helps students use these powerful tools to better their lives, and by doing so, making the world a better place. Welcome, Rachel, to our show.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you guys with this beautiful program.
We're excited to have you. So, tell us a little bit about your background and what made you dive deeper into angelic work.
So I've been a student and a teacher with the Kabbalah Center for more than 20 years, kind of lost count, and loving it every single day, choosing it every single day. And in more recent years, the whole idea of angels and how to connect with them and how to become familiar with them kind of came up to the surface more, thanks to the work of our teacher, Karen Berg, who passed away since, but her work, her words, her wisdom is with us all the time. And yes, it was through Karen that I was somehow led into this work.
Wow, I love that. Brooke, so this
Yeah.
field is completely new to you?
Completely, yeah. So I'm very excited to learn because although, I understand on some level the concept of an angel, but I haven't really explored that super deeply. And I've learned a lot about Kabbalah through Noah and this podcast, but also learning a lot there. But one thing that I do love is like learning about just different ways to access like our non-physical reality or spiritual reality within like our current physical reality. So I see how angels can certainly be like a powerful access point, I guess, to communicating with the unseen world. So with that in mind, though, I would love to know your perspective of what an angel actually is. Where do they come from? What is their purpose, in communicating with us, or how they do that?
Of course.
Yeah.
So angels, in essence, they're entities or energies, or you can even call them frequencies. And it's always been there. It's not something new. You can find it in many, many Kabbalistic ancient writings, and even ancient writings that are not Kabbalistic. And those frequencies are very much, I would say, almost like a bridge between the light force of the creator or source to us, to humans. So one aspect of what an angel is an extension of the light force of the creator. So the light force of the creator is everything. It's all the energy that exists out there, or like the energy of healing, or the energy of love, or the energy of certainty and security. And angels can be very specific frequencies. Like there's an angel for healing. You can meditate with this angel, connect with this angel specifically to connect with the energy of healing. So in a way, they are the ancient Kabbalist writing call them the servants of the king, which the king refers to the ultimate source, the light force of the creator, and they are like the servants of the king. But there's another layer to it. There's another aspect of what an angel is, based on the ancient writings of the Ari, the holy Kabbalist known as, his name was Rav Isaac Luria, he's known as the Ari, and he is actually saying that we humans, we also create angels all the time. Knowing or not knowing, we create them all the time with our thoughts, our words, and our actions. And he says very clearly, very plain, if you have very positive and elevated thoughts, positive and elevated words, and positive and elevated actions, you will create for yourself, for your aura, positive angels that will be with you for the rest of the day or for the rest of the week and support you and guide you and protect you even. And the opposite is true. When you're busy with negative thoughts, your words are negative towards others or even towards yourself, and your actions, of course, are negative, you will create negative angels that, those moments you kind of like bang your foot into the corner of the wall. It's the most painful thing in that moment. That's kind of like, we believe or we think that could be like a negative angel that just pushed you there. And alternatively, those moments that you about to leave the house and then you remember, I don't know, you're about to leave for a flight and you remember your passport, like those little moments of tiny little miracles, those are caused by positive angels. So if you didn't have enough motivation until now, this is another way to motivate you to be busy with positive thoughts, positive words, positive actions, to kind of like, it's almost, you can look at it as like you have a bank account of angels and you want to make sure it's always full with positive angels that will guide you and protect you throughout the day.
Wow, that's powerful.
Yeah, so powerful. And it reminds me a lot of just things that you hear like with law of attraction, and that, like it kind of, I see how that completely makes sense within that. Yeah. So
And
would you
go
ahead. You go ahead.
There was a movie, I just remembered as you were talking, Rachel, there was a movie, Eddie Murphy was the star in it, and it's called 1,000 Words. And I think it came out in 2012. It was a comedy drama, and every word that someone said, they made something happen, and it was related to a tree. It was really, really interesting. His fast talking gets him into trouble, and that trouble is manifesting in his physical realm. So as you were speaking, I thought about this movie. Go ahead, Brooke.
Yeah, and there's another mentioning in the Zohar and the Talmud, which is another ancient Kabbalistic text, that everything in this physical reality, every blade of grass has an angel that standing next to it and whisper, grow. So we can understand our entire physical reality with the filter of there's angels everywhere, even inside our body, our digestive system, our every system. And I can go on and on and on. We can use that idea and apply it to everything.
It kind of seems like a good way to just connect on a deeper level to the idea that like everything does have energy, even things that you may not, initially connect with, like a blade of grass is like having its own energy. But it's like, if you can connect in with this idea of the angel it kind of makes it a little bit more tangible, I guess.
Yes.
And so,
yes, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know that the angels can also, there's a book, it's not a book, but it's work by medical medium and Lorna Byrne. And Lorna Byrne, I think she's an Irish, she can see angels as well. She's an Irish medium. And they talk about that angels actually can boost the nutritional value of fruits and vegetables and herbs and everything. And there's also unknown angels. So these ones, I know that you can call on unknown angels, but you're very specific about through your work, I found the angel's name, which I was really appreciative of, because I don't believe that before coming across your work, I really knew what their names other than on Shabbat or Angel Raphael.
Right.
So can you speak a little bit more about the angels' names and how we can draw specific angels into our lives at any given moment?
So, like I said, there's angels everywhere. You can't count, and you create angels, and there are very powerful, specific angels that have been there from the beginning of time and are being mentioned in many of the ancient Kabbalistic writings. And when we learn about them and when we connect to their power and we understand how we can kind of like utilize this energy and this tool and even have like a relationship. Now, it's not a human, right? It's an entity, but still I can activate that energy. So you mentioned something about nutrition and activating. There's actually, I found a little while ago in one of the writings that they say when you eat, you can meditate with the angel Raphael, which we know is the angel of healing. I think it's kind of like a known fact all across different religions and different beliefs that Raphael is an angel of healing. So this is like a little tool right here. Every time you eat, to activate the nutrients within the food and to make sure you digest properly, you can call Angel Raphael and ask for his assistance. There's also, we found in a lot of the writings that there are specific angels that the Kabbalists kind of like, came into this knowledge of angels that are ruling specific planets, month, days in the month, and days in the week, and the different signs, astrological signs. But I do have to say that this, since I work only specifically with the Kabbalistic sources, we're talking here about the Kabbalistic calendar, which some people know as the Hebrew calendar. And it's a little bit of a different calendar. And if it's okay, I'll explain a little bit about it. So the Kabbalistic calendar is very ancient, and it has combination of the cycle of the sun and the cycle of the moon. They're not the same cycle. So the regular calendar, for example, goes by the sun. The Muslim calendar goes by the moon. So you can see with the Muslim holidays that every year they fall in a different season. The Kabbalistic calendar combines both and has a system to assure that the month of Aries, for example, will always be in the spring. It's a very sophisticated calendar, and the new moon in a Kabbalistic calendar is always the beginning of the month. So if we're talking about the month of Aries or the month of Taurus, which, kind of like this is the time that we are at right now, the new moon would be the beginning, the first day of whichever month. And the full moon will be the exact middle of the month. So if you kind of like dive into it, you see that it makes a lot of sense. It goes with the moon. So we have angels that are ruling each of the month, and we're not talking about January, February, March, but we're talking about there's names in Hebrew. Nisan, for example, is Aries, and Iyar is Taurus, and Sivan is Gemini. So we have different names for them, and I try as much as I can to explain in my social media posts about how to understand those different energies. And again, the days of the week, we have angels and a few different angels for every day of the week. And there are angels that you can connect with them at any time, regardless if it's Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, or whichever month, just because, like I mentioned, Raphael, it's a powerful angel of healing. You can connect with that angel every time you need healing. Okay?
And is it true that they can be summoned when we ask for help? Because we need to, they are there to help us, but if we're not activating them, they're not allowed to help us because we have to activate our free will. Is that correct?
Exactly. Absolutely. And this is a true concept to what is really the light force of the creator. It's always there. We like to use the example of, think about electricity that's in the walls of where you are. It's always there. How do you connect to it? Or do you connect to it? You can plug in a mixer and an oven and bake a cake, or you can do something very negative and bring destruction, or you can just sit there in a dark room and do absolutely nothing, but the electricity is there. So in the same way, the light force of the creator and the angels, They're always there. Their energy is always there. It can be in many different places at the same time. So the angel Michael, or Gabriel, their energy is so strong. It's not bound by time, space, and motion like what we are used to. It can be anywhere, everywhere, for anybody. And yes, you're right. All we need to do is ask and learn and pray and connect.
You know, and as I go through, I just wanted to say about connecting real quick before Brooke continues. So, you know, I do a little meditation. I came up with a little thing as I'm going through my PhD and doctorate program right now. So I say to myself, and I taught our kids that, I say, angels of knowledge, angels of success, please help me pass this test. So that's a little something, you know, very general, but I do try to connect, you know, to have them, or angels of good words, allow me to have the proper words to communicate better, because I'm not, you know, solely responsible. I can't be held responsible solely because I need the help, the assistance.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. Actually, on that same note, like, do you feel that, like, do we just need to ask, or are there things that can help us connect with them on a more powerful kind of frequency, I guess, or like being in a more meditative state, or like, just, do you have any thoughts on best communicating?
Yes, I think you can use it in different ways. I would definitely recommend anyone to meditate and connect with angels. Like Noah mentioned, I recorded several meditations, and more are coming. So people can take a break, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you know, some people work for the beginning of the day or the end of the day, and activate that power and connect. And also just the fact that you stop and you connect with yourself internally, your center, and ask for the guidance and help of the angels, that's amazing for the rest of the day. However, you don't have to do that. If you are about to go to a very important meeting or something, you know, whatever is going on for you, a conflict, a conversation, you can just pause for a quick moment and ask the angels or a specific angel to be with you and to guide you. And I do want to mention that we have been working really hard to make this wisdom and knowledge accessible to people. For what you mentioned on how to connect and how. So we created an app. It's still it's amazing app. It's still in development and it's only available for iPhone right now. And it's called Angel Guidance. And this app can show you what are the angels of the hour, what are the angels of the day.
Wow.
It has a bunch of meditations. You can choose the length. It's just a beautiful tool.
Wow, congratulations. Mazel tov. It sounds amazing. Just for that, I'm going to replace my Samsung for iPhone.
Well, we'll have to put that in the show notes as well, so people can access that if they're interested. Yeah.
Rachel, I also remember a story. I don't remember the Rav Berg. I think he mentioned it, that is it true that the Bible is written in Hebrew, or the fact that it's written in Aramaic is because the bad angels can't read it? What's the story behind it? Do you know?
So the Zohar, the Bible is in Hebrew, and the book of Zohar is basically a commentary on the Bible. But it's not just that, it's way more than that. It's a very, very powerful portal to help us connect to the light force of the Creator. It's actually decoding the secrets in the Torah. But even if you don't understand what the Zohar is talking about and you just scan it or have it in your house, it's a powerhouse. And because it has such a strong light, such a strong energy, the Kabbalists channeled it and wrote it in Aramaic, which is known to be the only language that the negative side or the angel of death cannot read or cannot connect with. It's a frequency that is so powerful and strong, the kind of like the negative forces cannot suck from it or cannot get a hold of it. So But it's a very interesting topic, the whole idea of the negative force and the negative angel, and I talk about that too in my post, because why do we need to have a negative angel? Why would the Kabbalist even bring forth that name and that energy? And I actually had an opportunity to ask Karen Berg once about that. And we know from a Kabbalistic point of view that without darkness, we can never connect with the light. If everything would always be good and perfect in our life, there would be no force that is moving us to grow and to choose the free choice that you mentioned, and to kind of like elevate and move forward in our work. So in the same way, the negative angel exists to challenge us, to push us. In Kabbalah, we call him the opponent, not, Satan or the bad guy, but the opponent, the one who's there for us to grow and to become stronger. So while we don't actually connect with the name of the negative angel, it's not a good name to say or to meditate with, we acknowledge that it exists. And the Zohar actually mentioned that negative angel many, many times. Mm-hmm. And we also know that when the time comes when all pain and suffering is gone and we completely overcame the negative force in the universe, that angel would shine the brightest. Mm-hmm. So, and this is the work that you guys are doing, right? Elevating.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, the room that we pray at the Kabbalah Center is actually called the War Room. And right. For the longest time, my husband had a difficulty with, why is it called the War Room? It didn't sound pleasant to him. And later we realized, because it's always going to be a battle. It's always going to be, right. The duality we speak about, the battle against the opponent. And it's a daily routine. It's a daily awakening that needs to happen, like brushing your teeth. You got to meditate, you got to elevate, you got to bring more light to the world. So for those who think it's this is a quick pill and I'm done. No, it's a daily effort that we're making.
Absolutely.
So true. Yeah. The idea of darkness and really understanding that and connecting with it as a way to better be able to recognize the light is something that I am very interested in, and over the past couple of years I've just connected so deeply with. So I think that's beautiful that it's acknowledged through the angels as well.
Yeah,
it's really, really special.
And there's another very interesting idea that I would love to share, is the idea of the guardian angel. Yes, or the personal angel.
Yes.
So again, it says it in the Zohar and many other ancient writings that each and every human has a guardian angel, an angel that is kind of like appointed to be there for that person from the time, even before they're kind of like conceived. That angel is with the soul, kind of like looking down and saying, okay, what kind of family and situation would serve best the work that I came into this world to do? And then kind of like being in utero, learning all the secrets of the universe. And then at birth, there's an angel that come and make sure we forget everything that we learned, but then we're going to relearn it as we mature. But that guardian angel is staying with us for our entire journey in this body, in this physical reality. And I think most people, most of their life, are not aware of it. Of course, there's exceptions. But once you become aware that there's an angel that is your angel, you can start to create a relationship with that angel. Speak with him, listen to what he says, meditate with him, ask for his assistance in every situation. And we actually, so, I know Noah asked me before, how do you know who's your guardian angel and what's his name? So we actually have a meditation, a personalized meditation that many of our teachers are trained to do. And we take the person into this realm through, relaxing and connecting and elevating, bringing the person into this realm to meet the guardian angel and speak with him and ask him for his name. I did it with many people, had beautiful, very, very special experiences. And yeah, it's just amazing. And once you know that, you kind of like, you know, it goes from like a stranger or a neighbor that you say hi to in the street into somebody that you actually know by name, and you have their phone number, and you actually go to coffee with them, you know, and it can become your best friend one day. So we kind of like, we use that tool to strengthen our connection. And our many people that I did it with told me, you know, I don't feel alone anymore.
Right.
So that's a beautiful thing.
Right. And I do it with our kids. I actually make sure that they say good night and good morning to their guardian angel, and putting their, you know, hand on their heart or wherever they feel the entity. And I always ask them, do you think it's female or male? Even though I know it's an entity, but it's interesting to see what the, you know, the girls always feel that it's female, and my boy feels that it's male. And I just said, just remind your guardian angel that you love it, you love him or her. So every morning, good night, guardian angel, I love you. Good morning, guardian angel. And that really helped, especially my daughters, to get over the fact that they feel so alone going to school. So they're now all in elementary school. And I said, you have your guardian angel, ask her for help. You know, just put your hand on your heart, ask her for help. She's going to remind you you're not alone. You're never alone. And that reminds me of Karen Berg's story, where, you know, she was bullied at younger age, and then she fell into like a hole of some sort. Do you want to tell this story? Because I found it very affecting.
Yeah. It's a very sad and beautiful story, how that it's in Karen's book, memoir, Too Unlikely People to Change the World, how as a kid she moved a lot and she was bullied a lot. And one of the times, a bunch of kids threw her into a ditch, and she was there all alone all night long, and she was crying and afraid and completely alone. No one came to help. And then she saw this light. She saw an angel. She saw all of it. And she then started a relationship with this angel that basically told her, you're never alone. I'm always here with you. And I think this is a very powerful story that you're bringing up, Noah, because I think this is how Karen started to work with angels from this terrible experience, and brought it up, you know, to us at the Kabbalah Center as something that Karen wanted everybody to have access to. And Karen many times would do meditations with angels in the new moon events, and I just absolutely love what Karen brought to us.
Yeah, her legacy continues.
It's beautiful. When you were telling that story, I feel like I've heard many times people who are, you know, at near-death experiences, or, you know, things that they were at a very rock bottom, and they have, you know, whether they call them angels or not, but it's like seeing a light, or like really feeling like, you know, they're being comforted by something from above. So that makes so much sense. And
what you're saying, I think a lot of time life brings us to the bottom or a very painful and difficult situation, so we can come to that place inside of us that we call out to the light of the Creator and to the angels, and we wake up to know they are there. But let whoever is listening to it wake up now, so life doesn't need to bring you to that place, because that's connecting to the light force of the Creator and the angel is really, it's everything. It's everything. When you bring that into your life and into your center of your being, you can really solve, or things will just become solved, or the ideas how to solve situations will come to you if you really go to the core, if you really go to that place.
100%. Yeah. Well, we just recorded an episode on mental health, and spoke a lot of how it's really just a loss of connection, like in many different ways. But I think that this is another avenue of really understanding that you never really truly are alone. And when you can find that place to connect in with your guardian angel, that light that's always with you, then you can begin to really feel that and then be transformed through that relationship, I guess. It's
Absolutely.
beautiful. Yeah.
I have a question in regards to the guardian angel. I always wondered, so in Kabbalah, we believe in reincarnation. So when our soul reincarnates, what happens to the guardian angel? Does this entity go back to being with you in your new vessel?
I don't know for sure. I don't have any memory of that, but I believe with the new vessel comes a new angel, because I think the kind of person you are versus the kind of person you were in your past life is very different. Now, you do bring some baggage and you do bring your karma, or what we call in Kabbalah tikkun, and it is important to understand that. It is important to understand your karma, your tikkun, what you came here to correct, what kind of work you brought from your past lives. You don't necessarily need to know everything about all your different past lives, but a lot of people ask me, like, I just don't understand why things don't work out the way I want, and why did I have to go through all that pain when I was young? And a lot of times you simply cannot understand it without understanding the idea of past life. So as you come into the new body, you're a new person, and you are given all the opportunities in the world to help you correct whatever it is you've done in past lives. You also have this new angel that will guide you and guard you and support you. And actually, it's not just one angel. There's one main angel, which is the guardian angel, but we also create a chart of angels for each and every person. And I would love to do that for you guys. And it's based on all the things I mentioned before, like what planet was ruling at the time of your birth, the day of the week, the day of the month in the Kabbalistic calendar. Even there's an element to your astrological chart. So there's angel for each element, and there's a personal 72 name of God for each person with 3 angels. Wow. So there's this whole chart. There's even angel of the time based on the time you were born. So there's this whole chart of angels that is like, these are the angels that were present at the time of your birth. It's very unique. And here they can help you. They can support you.
Incredible. Like, I can't stop smiling in this episode. Like, and for those of you that will see it on YouTube, you'll see how radiant Rachel is. Like, you understand that she lives what she's speaking about. Like, I would love to be like that all the time. That's an inspiration.
Nobody's like that all the time.
That's true. So I'll take 75%, Rachel.
Okay.
That's amazing. So, and what would be, because I know this episode will air in mid-April, but you mentioned that we really don't have April in the, in the lunar calendar. So what would be like a meditation for the month of, I guess, May will be in ER? It's going to be in ER.
Right. So we are coming close to the month of Iyar, which is correlating to the sign of Taurus. And we have a few angels, like there are angels specifically that are ruling the month of Iyar, and there's angels for the sign of Taurus. And I just want to say quickly that there are a lot of different variations of this. If you go to ancient writings by different Kabbalists, you will find different names of angels. So we understand that there isn't only one angel that rules every month or sign, but there are several. And I believe the ancient Kabbalists, they were so elevated, they were connecting to a specific frequency and channel this information, but then there's more. So we just use the knowledge that we come across. And again, many people have asked me before, I looked online, and based on that website or whatever, it's a different angel. There's no right or wrong here, okay? It's all right. There's different frequencies, different sources of wisdom. I speak only about Kabbalistic sources. Just so for the month of Iyar, we have one angel named Amariel and one angel named Kadmiel, which in some places also appear as Kedumiel with a O. So the angel Amariel so the Kabbalists say that the name of the angel, and this is all in Hebrew, so I'll try to explain as much as I can, because I know most people don't speak Hebrew, but the name of the angel is giving us a clue to the energy of that angel. Okay, so I know a lot of people are familiar with the name Michael, Raphael, Gabriel as angels. They are widely known, but not everybody knows that their names coming from the Hebrew language, and the meaning of their energy comes from the Hebrew language. So the angels I mentioned, Amariel, it means what the Creator said, or the words of the Creator, and this is an angel that can help us hear and accept the words of the Creator, meaning really getting the message directly from the Creator, not because somebody else said it, but because in my soul, I heard it, I listened to it, I internalize it. So it's an angel that can help us connect with the Creator in a pure way, not through anyone else. It's great to learn from teachers and to read books. We all do that all the time. But we got to know that we are a vessel. We are a walking machine that has the ability to hear and to listen and to connect to the light force of the Creator and get those messages. The second angel of this month is Kadamiel or Kedumiel. And the meaning of it in Hebrew, of the word Kadum, is ancient. And what the Kabbalists are explaining about this angel is that it's teaching us that before negativity was created, before the darkness was created in the world, first there was light. When the world was created, first there was light. Meaning, whatever is more ancient is also more established and more connected to the truth. And a lot of time what happened to us as people is that we see all the darkness around us, or darkness that's happening in our life, challenges, things that are difficult, pain, loss, chaos. And we believe that this is it and this is how it's going to be and there's no way to change it. This angel is coming to tell us, that's not right. The light was there before, and you got to know the light force of the Creator is always there. It's always there, and there's going to be a solution, and you will figure it out, and you will find a way to live your life in a way that you are happy and complete and whole and full of joy. So that's kind of like the power of this angel. And one more that I will mention, for the sign of Taurus, it's a beautiful angel called Chasdiel, might be spelled with an H in English. But the ancient Hebrew word is chesed. And chesed means mercy, charity, sharing. And it's an amazing angel, one of my favorites, because no matter what's happening around us, we can always bring in the energy of chesed, bring in the energy of mercy, of love, of care, of sharing. And this energy can really heal the world, literally. When you bring chesed into your life, no matter what you have going on, you can start to see things changing, doors opening, because you activate charity and sharing and care towards other people. Wow. So this is a little bit about the angels of Taurus.
When you were describing all of that, because I grew up Christian. And I was realizing that it's also the time of Easter, and which is, the crucifixion and the rise of Jesus. So just what that message was is so much of what, like, the message of Jesus Christ. And to me, there's no coincidences. And I feel like it's all so much more interconnected, and that, it's all one understanding of the universe. And I find that really beautiful, that you can connect in so many different ways.
And that's why I love Kabbalah, because Kabbalah is not a religiosity. It's a spirituality that brings people from all over. You can you can follow whatever faith you choose, but that spirituality really unites all of us. I believe that's what the world needs most. Not division, but a unity.
I agree. I don't think it's at all about which religion you are following or not following, or you grew up or you practice. It's about how you connect to the light force of the Creator that's inside of you, to your soul, to God. And it's all around you, it's inside of you. And Kabbalah can enhance that connection, and you can actually become a more devout in whatever religion you choose to follow, because you also study Kabbalah. So it can go along with any other practices.
Yeah, I can say, and I think that anything that's a true spiritual practice, it's the kit, because when you look at just religion from just the sake of religion, it can seem a little dead, because it's looking at just kind of like these prophets said this, and like it's not really emphasizing that you have the access to that energy right now in your life. And not saying that I'm not saying that all religions can have that peace and all, but it's finding a way where it really comes alive to you. And I can certainly see how Kabbalah activates that aliveness and true spirituality, for sure.
Right. And it's about unity. It's about understanding we are all one, we are all connected, versus fragmentation or separation or exclusion, which we absolutely don't believe in.
Yeah. And to me, that is the true message of Jesus Christ, of what, and really, in a sense, he was a Jewish mystic. I don't know if, I don't know enough about Kabbalah to really make those many connections, but yeah,
I believe so. I believe so.
I can believe that.
I will encourage all our listeners to follow Rachel Santo. She's on social media. I follow you on Instagram, YouTube, Inside Timer. She has a great YouTube channel. And we talked about Hebrew a little bit. So when you see the screenshots, sometimes you take screenshots of the day and the angels. You don't have to know Hebrew in order to connect to the power. You can just scan it with your eyes from right to left, top to bottom. And this is a way for you to connect to the energy. Is that correct, Rachel?
Yes, absolutely. And our soul, like we said, we are all united. We are all coming from the same place. Our soul has the understanding of the Hebrew letters, because they are frequencies of different kinds of energies, and their combination is like when you come to saw together different strings and create a beautiful rug. The combination of Hebrew letters in different combination is channeling different energies. And whether or not you speak Hebrew, your soul has the capacity to receive that energy. So scanning from right to left, like you said, Noah, is all that you need to do.
Yeah, and same for the Zohar. If anyone interested in having that, that book in the house, I know that Kabbalah.com also sells it as a small Pinchas, which is a healing book. You don't have to know how to write it. Just, even have it in your home for protection. You can always do that.
Yes. And I also want to mention, with the guardian angel and the angel chart, these are services that I offer, and there's other teachers in the center that offer that. And you're welcome to get in touch, and I'll be happy to share more information.
Beautiful. Brooke, did you want to add something?
No, well, I was saying that that's super helpful what you said, of like that you can just scan, because I did look on your Instagram page and I was like, I was like, I'm not going to be able to read any of this, but yeah, that's so cool that just, scanning for the energy. And yeah, we will certainly make sure we put in the show notes of how to get in touch with you, so that anybody who would want to, look into their angel chart can do so.
Thank you.
And connect. Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful, Rachel. We
Thank you
can't
so
thank you
much for
enough.
having me.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
being here.
Thank
And
you, guys. It was really lovely, and I think your show is amazing. You're really doing the work. Yeah, I love it.
Thank you. With the help of our angels.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so bye to our listeners, and we'll see you. We'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.